Fall. After hitting the porcelain, the young master loves it so much. Introduction. Marry first, love later, high sweetness, rebellious second-generation racing driver vs gentle and harmless dance teacher Moo Yun in the late 1v1 year. Recently, she has been at a low point in her life, with her parents passing away, her job lost, and her aunt constantly thinking about her house. When she went out to eat noodles, she was hit with porcelain and brought back a little white-faced roommate who seemed to have been abandoned by a wealthy woman. The roommate has unparalleled beauty. Traffic accident. You are listening at novel full.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, Teacher Moo, you can come and put on your makeup now. In the backstage of the theater and in the dressing room, the makeup artist is warmly greeting Moo Yun. Today, the song and dance troupe where Moo Yun works has a performance, and everyone in the backstage is busy preparing. Miss Makeup Girl looks a bit festive and smiles like a lucky doll. She held a makeup brush in her left hand and skillfully applied lotion to Moo Yun in her right hand. Looking at Moo Yun's white and flawless skin, the makeup artist's little sister could not help praising, "Teacher Moo, your skin is so white, I feel that you don't need to apply foundation make-up, you can directly apply makeup." Moo Yun smiled shyly upon hearing this. The makeup artist is a talkative girl, chatting while applying makeup to Moo Yun. "Hey, Teacher Moo, I went to see your performance last month. You danced really well, it was so beautiful, like a fairy." Moo Yun said with a hint of embarrassment, "Thank you for the compliment. No, it's not that exaggerated. Do you like watching dance dramas? I have a performance next week and I can give you a ticket." After hearing this, Miss Makeup Girl excitedly said, Really? Thank you, Teacher Moo." After Hu Yu, a female dancer who was taking care of her hair, received a sharp blow from the makeup girl, "Can you dress up faster, makeup artist? There are still so many people waiting in line for makeup," she said displeased. After hearing this, Miss Makeup Girl quickly apologized and said, "I'm sorry, Teacher Hu. I will paint for you as soon as I finish makeup for Teacher Moo." After hearing this, Hu Yu rolled her eyes and said, "I hope so. I hope you have time to paint for us after you finish putting on makeup for Teacher Moo. After all, we little people like us can't compare to the soon-to-be Chief Teacher Moo." Miss Makeup Girl's face turned a bit pale upon hearing this. Moo Yun frowned and explained, "Hu Yu, I have said it many times. The chief has not yet determined who it is, and it may not be me. Moreover, this kind of thing is judged by everyone's eyes, so you really don't have to think that I stole your top spot. For us, the most important thing is to dance well and steadily." Hu Yu sneered disdainfully upon hearing this. "Moo Yun, don't pretend to be a good person here. Who in the group doesn't know that Teacher Lu likes you the most? She will definitely give you the chief after retiring. When it comes to dancing, Hu Yu is not inferior to you. I started learning dance at the age of 4, and my whole life was born for dance. Why can't I be the leader? Don't be complacent, Moo Yun. We'll see." After speaking, Hu Yu slammed the door hard and walked out. After reading it, Moo Yun let out a deep sigh. She and Hu Yu were originally good friends when they first joined the dance troupe. They once ate fried skewers at a snack stand after their performances, practiced dance together in the practice room, stretched and ran circles together. But I don't know when they can't go back anymore. After tidying up the chaotic emotions, Moo Yun began to prepare for today's performance. Let's invite young dancer Moo Yun to bring us the modern dance Moonlight. Finally, my goddess has arrived. She is the most outstanding dancer. Moo Yun is the most beautiful and the best. Upon hearing Moo Yun perform on stage, the audience below cheered excitedly. After the performance, Moo Yun placed the bouquet sent by her fans in front of the dressing table. Feeling tired, I pressed the center of my eyebrows. I don't know what's going on, but today she always feels like her heart is pounding with excitement, as if something bad is about to happen. Is it because I've been performing too frequently lately and getting tired? Mu Yun opened her phone and prepared to take a few days off from work with the teacher. Just opened my phone, over 30 red missed calls were prominently displayed on the screen. It was called by Mu Yun's father and also by Mu Yun's mother inside. What's wrong with my parents? Mu Yun anxiously dialed back the number. It was not Mu Yun's parents who connected, but Mu Yun's Aunt Lu Fong. Auntie Lu Fong's rough voice came from the receiver. Mu Yun, where did you die, a girl who lost money? You didn't even answer so many phone calls. After hearing this, Mu Yun frowned in displeasure and replied stiffly, Auntie, why are my parents' phones with you? Where are my parents? Lu Fong shouted even louder at Mu Yun, oh, you loser still knows your parents. They died in a car accident. They're all preparing to be cremated at the crematorium now. Mu Yun's phone suddenly slipped from her hand and fell to the ground. Impossible, that's impossible. My parents said they were coming to see me perform a few days ago. Auntie, you lied to me, didn't you? Tears suddenly slid down from the corners of Mu Yun's eyes. With the delicate makeup of today's performance. As if she knew she had reason, Lu Fong spoke even louder, your parents are really dead, Yun girl. Auntie can tell you, this time your parents' car accident was taken care of by Auntie and your uncle. You should be grateful. Before Lu Fong could finish speaking, Mu Yun interrupted her, Auntie, where are my parents now? Lu Fong said displeased, you dead girl, why are you so impolite? It's really impolite of you to interrupt while adults are still talking. Mu Yun accentuated her tone, almost roaring and making a sound, where are my parents now? Lu Fong saw that she couldn't get along well, so she grumbled a few words in frustration. She came to Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com and said dryly, Songyang Hospital. Mu Yun didn't change her performance dress and quickly took a taxi to the airport. By the time we arrived at Songyang Hospital, it was already 10:30 p.m. The hospital lobby is still overcrowded, with coughing, machine noises, and the cries of children or adults everywhere. Mu Yun grabbed a nurse at a service desk and anxiously asked, hello, may I ask if your hospital has two patients, one named Mu Qingshan and the other named Kai Meiyun? The nurse looked at the woman in front of her, who was dressed in a gorgeous dress and had some makeup, but still delicate. She comforted her with kindness, Miss, don't worry for now. I'll check for you. The nurse checked for a while, looked at Mu Yun with some sympathy, and cautiously said, Miss, we have found these two patients in our hospital. They had a car accident in the early morning and were sent here. Mu Yun anxiously asked, may I ask where they are now and which ward? The nurse whispered, unfortunately, they passed away this morning due to ineffective rescue efforts. Although she had already heard her aunt say that her parents had passed away on the phone, Mu Yun still held a lucky mentality. Until just now when I heard the nurse in the hospital say that her parents had passed away, and she had not even seen their last face, Mu Yun completely collapsed. Large chunks of tears fell from her eyes, and Mu Yun cried with self-blame. If she didn't perform today, would she be able to see her parents for the last time? If she doesn't stick to her dance dream, can she take good care of her parents and they won't die? Miss, how are you doing? Xiao Zhu, hurry up and get a stretcher. A girl here has fainted. Fight for a house. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, Mu Yun woke up again, it was already the next morning. The nurse looked at her in surprise and said, Miss Mu, you finally woke up. Mu Yun felt a slight swelling and pain in her throat, and hoarsely said, where are my parents? I want to go see them. The nurse hurriedly stopped Mu Yun who was about to wake up, Miss Mu, take a break first. You scared me to death yesterday, I went into shock. After the nurse moved Mu Yun back to the bed, she said sympathetically, Miss Mu, your parents' bodies are being kept in the large flat of our hospital. You don't have to worry. You can rest in peace for a while before going to see them. They also hope to see you healthy. Mu Yun said in a muffled voice, thank you. After the nurse left, Mu Yun lay alone on the hospital bed, tears dripping uncontrollably. Before Mu Yun could feel sad for too long, her aunt Lu Fang rushed over. Lu Fang has a loud voice and started shouting before entering the door. You're really a loser. You'll be hospitalized as soon as you come back. Yunya, I'm coming to see you, auntie. Get out of bed and pour me some water. Mu Yun looked at her hurried aunt and asked without emotion, auntie, why did you come? It's not surprising that Mu Yun has a bad attitude towards Lu Fang, but in fact, Lu Fang herself is indeed a strange person. Mu Yun's uncle is a cowardly rakier, and Lu Fang takes care of everything at home. Lu Fang does take good care of her family, but she has a flaw that she values sons over daughters too much. Since Lu Fang gave birth to his own son, Mu Yaozu, he has felt that he is a great hero of the old Mu family and often considers himself a senior member of the old Mu family. When Mu Yun was born, Lu Fang repeatedly proposed to send her away because she was a girl. After being stopped by Mu Yun's parents, she didn't give up. She kept saying that Mu Yun was a loser and would have to marry out sooner or later. It was better to give her cousin as a child bride. Later, after Mu Yun's mother, Ms. Kai Mei Yun, scolded Lu Fang fiercely like a shrew for the first time, Lu Fang's stubbornness decreased. After Mu Yun's family became wealthy, Lu Fang's little plan began again. During the Chinese New Year, Lu Fang and her son Mu Yaozu approached Mu Yun's father, Mu Qingshan, and proposed that Mu Yaozu recognize Mu Qingshan as his second father and carry his coffin in the future. At that time, Lu Fangli said straightforwardly and confidently, Uncle Yaozu, your Mu Yun is a loser who will eventually get married. I am a reasonable sister. Law, and my Yaozu recognizes you as his second father. In the future, your house and money will be given to my Yaozu, and Yaozu will also be filial to you in the future. Don't you think everyone is happy about this? Mu Qingshan is an elegant educator who has never had much red face with anyone in his lifetime. That day, I was stunned because I scolded Lu Fang and her invisible brother for holding my daughter in my hand. Later, the Mu Yun family never returned to their hometown for the spring festival. But deep down, my brothers are connected. Every time brother Mu Qingshan comes to borrow money from him, he still gives it to him. Lu Fang sat down on the hospital bed and casually took the congee that the nurse on the table kindly bought for Mu Yun. While drinking, Lu Fang said, Yun girl, you still have to thank your aunt this time. After your parents were sent to the hospital and couldn't contact you, your aunt helped you post a lot of money. Although she couldn't stand Lu Fang, Mu Yun knew that Lu Fang had indeed helped her parents in this car accident. So Mu Yun politely said, thank you, auntie. In a few days, I will take care of my parents' affairs and go see you and uncle. Lu Fang climbed up the pole without any hesitation. Yun girl, what's wrong with this? After all, my family's Yaozu is going to recognize Qingshan as his second father. Speaking of which, Qingshan is also dead. I remember if your family has a 120 square meter house in the center of Xiangqing City. Let's adopt it to my family, Yaozu, today. He is about to start matchmaking. Oh, by the way, Qingshan has a lot of money these years, right? Auntie Qian, who sent you to learn dance before, won't want it anymore. The rest will have to be given to my family to honor our ancestors, and I will use it when I get married in the future. Mu Yun watched as Lu Fang continued to speak vigorously, revealing a hint of self-deprecation. How could she think that a person who refuses to change will become better? Mu Yun said coldly, Auntie, my parents are dead, I'm not dead yet. Lu Fang disdainfully said, why do you need so much money as a loser? In the future, it will still be cheaper for your mother. In Law's family. I'll tell you, your daughter is not qualified to carry coffins for your parents. If you are more sensible, give the house and money to my family Yaozu, and my family Yaozu will help your parents carry coffins and let them rest. After hearing this, Mu Yun couldn't bear it anymore and said coldly, you go out for me. I will handle my parents' affairs on my own, so you don't have to worry about it. The money you have advanced in the past few days will be invoiced and I will truthfully repay you. As for the house and money, they were left for me by my parents, so you don't have to worry, auntie. Lu Fang said unhappily after listening, why don't you know what's good or bad, you dead girl? I'll tell you, after this village, there won't be this shop anymore. You give me the house now, and my aunt will introduce you to a wealthy person. Your parents will also be able to rest in peace when they are in heaven. Mu Yunqi picked up the broom next to her and was about to drive Lu Fang out. I'm telling you, don't think about my parents' inheritance by looking for Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Get out of here. After Lu Fang was kicked out by Mu Yun with a broom, she started to curse at the door of the ward again. Due to the unpleasant language, he was repeatedly chased away by the nurse and refused to leave. In the end, the nurse threatened to report to the police before leaving in frustration. Under the guidance of the nurse, Mu Yun looked at the bodies of her parents. Looking at her parents' familiar yet cold bodies, tears flowed down Mu Yun's eyes once again. Dad, Mom, it's me, Yun'er. I'm back from my performance and I'm coming to see you guys. Open your eyes and take a look at me. Mu Yun lay beside her parents' bodies crying, Dad, Mom, I'm not leaving. I'm not dancing anymore, okay? You guys wake up, okay? Mu Yun cried for a long time, but unfortunately her parents never woke up to see their beloved daughter again. With the help of doctors and nurses, Mu Yun cooked the aftermath of her parents. The cemetery was chosen near the martyrs' cemetery, surrounded by many predecessors of the martyrs, and Mu Yun's parents will not be alone in the future. Ms. Kai Mei Yun was born into a family that prioritizes sons over daughters, and has never had any contact with her family since getting married. Mu Qingshan only has one older brother, and his aunt Lu Fang is constantly staring at his inheritance. Since then, Mu Yun has never had anyone close to her in the world. Sending a bouquet of flowers to her parents' cemetery, Mu Yun knelt beside the cemetery and heavily tapped her 3 heads before firmly promising her parents, Dad, Mom, don't worry, I will live a good life. Don't worry, you should also live well in the sky. A gentle breeze blew by, and the leaves rustled, as if echoing the words of Mu Yun. Mu Yunqiao walked step by step outside the cemetery, although slowly, every step was steady. Are you taking care of me? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Check in. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, the boy's clean eyes flashed with a hint of cunning, like a obedient big dog, eagerly looking at Mu Yun. Mu Yun was a bit panicked when she was stared at. As a senior beauty control, Mu Yun really can't stand good-looking people staring at her with such eyes. What should we do? I really want to take him back. I really want to dance and support him. After finally putting away her evil thoughts, Mu Yunxin stiffened and forced herself not to look at the pitiful gaze of the boy. You're still young, don't keep thinking about making money this way, patiently advised. After finishing speaking, he ran out of the shop as if there were some cannibalistic fox spirits behind him. After waiting for a distance from the noodle shop, Mu Yun stopped to catch her breath. Be careful. A child flew towards Mu Yun on a skateboard, as if it had lost control. Mu Yun was frightened and her body seemed to be instantly filled with cement, unable to move. Just as Mu Yun closed her eyes in fear, a pleasant and hot breath enveloped her. After carrying Mu Yun to a safe place, a pleasant and familiar voice rang in her ear, Sister, it's safe now. You can open your eyes now. The imagined pain did not come, and Mu Yun carefully opened her eyes. In front of me is the boy I met at the noodle shop. At this moment, the boy was bending his phoenix eyes and looking at her with a smile. The child who was playing skateboarding was also brought over by the parents who were pulling their ears. The parents of the child apologized to Mu Yun, I'm really sorry, little girl. My son secretly took out his brother's skateboard and almost bumped into you just now. Mu Yun said, "It's okay, I'm not injured. But next time, you need to take care of the child to avoid colliding with others." Okay, I'll teach this disobedient rabbit a lesson when I get home. Parents pick up their children's skateboards and take them away. Mu Yun looked at the boy in front of her and remembered running to avoid him earlier. Suddenly, she felt her face burning hot and a bit embarrassed. Mu Yun expressed her gratitude to the boy with a wry expression, "Thank you, then." The boy looked at Mu Yun and seemed a bit hurt, saying, "It's okay, sister. Although my sister doesn't like me, I was super happy to arrive in time and didn't let her get hurt." Mu Yun's face immediately turned pig liver color, and she explained pale, "I don't dislike you, it's just." The boy seemed even more injured and said, "Sister, there's no need to explain anymore. You didn't even want to take me home just now." "I know, I won't disturb you." Mu Yun looked at the boy's slightly injured eyes and felt as if she had done something heinous. "So, do you want to go home with me because you don't have a place to live?" After speaking, Mu Yun wished she could bite her own tongue. What foolish question did she ask? If he had a place to live, would he still let himself take care of him? The boy lowered his head in inferiority and whispered, "Sister, I really don't have a place to live and no money. You hurt me, I'll do anything." Mu Yun closed her eyes and said, "What a sin. This delicate and beautiful man, she really wants to dance and raise him." Mu Yun took a deep breath and thought of hiring a nanny. She couldn't cook and eating takeout was unhealthy. He just saved her. "Well, can you cook and clean?" The boy's eyes lit up instantly and he excitedly said, "Sister, I know everything." Mu Yun said seriously, "My name is Mu Yun. My house has 2 bedrooms and 1 living room, and there is 1 available room to live in. I don't want the rent, but I need you to cook and clean the house." The boy happily hugged Mu Yun's arm and said, "Thank you, Sister Ayun. My name is Simonin. Sister, please remember my name, Nan Nan will be very obedient." Mu Yun withdrew her arm and said with difficulty, "Don't think crooked, I don't have that much money to support you. We are the most normal roommate relationship. You can deduct the room fee for cooking and cleaning, and you don't have any mental burden." After hearing this, Simonin chuckled and Danfeng's eyes shone brightly. He said seriously, "I know, sister. I will feed my sister to her full capacity." So, Mu Yun brought Simonin back home. Just as he entered the entrance, Simo curiously looked around. Mu Yun handed over a pair of women's winter plush slippers and said with some embarrassment, "There are no men's slippers at home, please make do for it first. Tomorrow, I will go to the supermarket to buy a pair." Simonin smiled and took the slippers from Mu Yun's hand, saying, "Okay, thank you, sister." The clear voice is like a plump, sweet and ripe peach. Mu Yun secretly thought to herself that he was indeed a well-trained male fox, and handed over his slippers without changing his expression. After putting on his slippers, Simonin followed Mu Yun into the room. "This is the living room, shared. That's the bathroom and kitchen over there. The kitchen hasn't been used for a long time, so it needs to be cleaned before." After introducing the public place, Mu Yun led Cmo Nan to a bedroom, which was bare. The empty bedboard and wardrobe looked as impoverished as ever. "This is your room," Mu Yun said. Simonin blinked and looked at Mu Yun quietly, as if asking if this was to make him sleep on an empty bed. Mu Yun awkwardly cleared her throat, but after her parents passed away, she experienced an emotional breakdown. Later, in order to avoid contemplating others, she sold all the old items. Zhaoshuyuan.com. After she was fired, the vacant room was originally intended to hire a roommate to subsidize her family, so no new items were added. To avoid embarrassment, Mu Yun said, "Let's go, I'll take you to the supermarket and buy some household items. Let's talk about it first, and the money will be deducted from your nanny fee." After hearing this, Simonin smiled happily, with a pair of narrow phoenix eyes as if covered in stars, as if trying to put a person inside. Mu Yun looked at Simonin's prosperous beauty and seemed to miss a beat in her heart. "Let's go, it's getting dark soon," he said. Simonin helped Mu Yun carry her bag in his hand and followed behind like a little daughter. Law, anxiously saying, "Walk slowly, sister." At the supermarket, Simonin honestly pushed a handcart and watched as Mu Yun jumped up and down to make purchases. So cute, like the little hamster he raised when he was a child. Simonin watched silently. Suddenly, the phone screen lit up and Simonin opened it to take a look. "Nange, come out and have a drink. Recently, the third brother has bought a modified version of the motorcycle, which is really cool." "I won't go, something's up." "No, Nangu, have you been imprisoned by Sister Lee again?" "Having a sister is really scary, but fortunately my brother is not like this. Rolling calf, she kicked me out and froze my black card as well. Damn it, so ruthless, Nange. Do you need my brother to help you?" Simonin looked at the little girl who was crazily picking up cakes not far away and smiled as she typed down a line of characters. "I don't need it for now, someone is taking care of me." After finishing the fight, Simonin turned off his phone and paid no attention to the critical blow his last words brought to his good brother. Pushing the car towards the little girl. Formal employment. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Contract guidelines. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Dancing again. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Applying for dance teacher position. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Strolling shopping malls. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Raising cats, with colored eggs. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text.